Jennifer would absolutely be the type of character to twerk, like to dance and to be happy and be freaking a free bird and all that stuff. Absolutely. You do you, boo boo. Absolutely. Preferably on me. But
what the hell? I want to sleep with King Sprinkle.
We see multiple things to
choking General Davis,
crushing his chest plate.
Yeah, crushing his chest.
I hate saying I'm a bully.
I think we have the spoons. They're huge.
Yeah.
What was good, boy? Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Basic Nerd Experience, coming to you live from both Gainesville and from Utah. Not that much different, but you know, that's how it is. You already know.
There is. One snows and one doesn't.
Oh, that's true. One smells like Mormon, one doesn't. Not that the smell is bad or anything. It's just one smells different than the other.
Well, we also have the swamp, and then we also have just this the Mormons. So it's one smells better, the other doesn't. So
that's true. Rest in peace. But either way it goes, welcome everybody to the Basic Nerd Experience. I want to introduce the host with the most that looks like a ghost. How you doing?
Right.
And it's your boy Chillian, Mr. 305, coming back at you live through the power of this microphone. So thank God. Yeah.
Power line.
Yeah. The greatest rock star on the planet.
Kanye.
You ain't got the not yet.
You ain't got the answers.
But anyway, today, you guys and Guy, we want to go over two separate shows, two that come from similar worlds in a way, but from the Star Wars and Marvel IPs, both being handled by our overlords up at Disney. We want to go over both Andor and She-Hulk. And, Andor comes from one of the more lukewarm movies that have come out from the Disney epic, how do you say it? Epic
space opera
that Disney just so happened to adopt from George Lucas, of course. Yes, which you all know is Rogue One. And She-Hulk comes from the comics, particularly originally back in, I understand, the 1980s, the 1970s, I believe. I'm not that
sounds right.
Sounds right, yeah. However, She-Hulk is the cousin, for those of you who don't know, Jennifer Walters is the cousin of your big green thick boy Bruce Banner.
I mean,
that's right. Both of them got that ass, but yeah, going back, yes, Mr. Ghost, which one would you like to discuss with me first?
Andor.
Oh, okay. You chose so fast. I imagine you got some really strong responses, really strong opinions on this one.
I do. I mean, first off, as we know, Star Wars is something that we love in this podcast, and for me, it's the number one franchise in my opinion. It's my go-to, and I love it. I love it to death. However, I like it. I like the concept of it because it's supposed to be like, this is when the rebellion starts. This is when it's supposed to. This is when they're planting the seed of hope. But I want it to be something where I want to be proven wrong, because for me, Rogue One, and my humbling, bubbling opinion, and I believe you agree to this too, Rogue One is the most boring Star Wars movie.
Bitches ain't shit.
Even
in my opinion.
Of all of them?
Of all of them.
Ooh.
I not that it's not bad. I love in my opinion, there's things that I can still take away from every Star Wars movies, even ones that frustrate me. Last Jedi. And it's something where I'm gonna quote Screen Junkies when I say this. it's not good that the robot has more personality than the humans do. Like, let's take Jyn Erso and Andor, for example.
Jack Spicer.
And, or as you made fun of me, Jack Spicer, Galen Erso, many moons ago. Many Andor moons ago, but we'll go back to Andor. But let's start with the elephant in the room, Andor. He's gonna be played by Diego Luna. That's the name of the the actor?
That's that's my favorite Latino.
Of all time, or just in Star Wars?
Okay, never mind. That's Salma Hayek. No, okay, continue.
Okay. So with Diego Luna, I don't think first of all, with any of the characters in Rogue One, I don't think the actors did an awful job. I think they all put all their all to it. But what they didn't put their all into it was the storyline for Alderaan and all these other planets in Rogue One, because I feel like Rogue One did something correct, which it did fix a big plot hole in episode 4, which is how the rebels got the goddamn planets to the Death Star, this big space station in the sky. How could these army of people get these plans? And so this kind of fixed it, but I don't know. It had a lot of potential, but I feel like it had a lot of wasted potential, if you ask me. Like Galen Erso, I thought would have been I think he should have been the protagonist, if you ask me. Like the guy who created the damn thing, I think it would have been cool to have him and Jyn go along this adventure and saying, you know what, I need to right my wrongs. I didn't want to. I was forced in the corner, and they killed my wife, and but I don't know. I feel like it could have been better, and just I felt like, we can go into it a little bit more, but I feel like Andor, like the guy himself, is not enough to get a whole show, because I didn't get any spy vibes from him. I didn't get any like James Bond or what's his name that Matt Damon played of. What's his
Jason
name?
Bourne Identity?
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's Diego Luna. I got none of that. But I just don't. I still want to give it a chance, because I still love Star Wars, and I still believe. I don't want to judge something before I don't see it. I'm not a poser, but I believe that this is something where I don't feel like it deserves a show. I feel like there's other characters before Andor that deserve their own show, like Qui-Gon Jinn, I think, in my opinion, another character, we can say this for another time, but another character I believe that deserves a show or a movie, at least, in my opinion, is Jango Fett.
Okay, I can see that. It also helps with the fact that there's a whole video game and tons of comics dedicated to the guy. I mean, like, I don't know if you've played Bounty Hunter.
I beat it, yeah.
There, you know what I'm saying. Like, the combat is simple, but it's so much fun. You got a freaking jetpack where you can feel like the freaking Hulk, just like jumping from one side to another, like this. I'm not comparing Django to the Hulk or anything, but I'm just saying, like, it's
they're both
like,
unchained.
The what?
They're both unchained.
They're both Django. But yeah, like there's a good argument for it right there. Hell, I can even pull from some Rogue One characters. I mean, in my opinion, I think Chirrut was one of the more interesting characters, more fascinating. Chirrut is, I am one with the Force is with me. I am one with the Force is with me.
See, the problem with that is that they didn't do a good job of telling the characters. They didn't say the characters' names enough, and I don't know. I just feel like it was too much information all at once. Like, you ever feel like I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I already did. Sorry, but you never know when you're watching a movie for the first time, and they give you so much information. Like, okay, what the? Can we go back? I can't rewind because it's a movie theater, but it's. Do you ever feel like it was frustrating where you're watching and you're like, can you go? What's your name? Okay, now you're just the dude, or what's the name? Krennic, the
crybaby director guy who's under old boy. What's this guy's name?
Ryan Johnson. No.
No, he's not old and he's not wise.
No, Krennic.
Tarkin.
No, Krennic.
Yeah, I'm talking about Krennic is the crybaby who's under Tarkin.
Oh, okay. The this close to what was it to I don't know if he's being Italian or not, but yeah, he was this close to all the
Look what you done to my boy. I'll beat the shit out of you, bro.
That guy. But Chilling Mr. 305, you were gonna say something about Rogue One. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, Rogue One is one of the more like I said, one of the more lukewarm movies from Star Wars that I've seen. I don't hate it. I don't outright hate it like I hate The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker or something like that. Less Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. But it's not, to me, it has great concepts. I admired the fact that the original director, wanted to go tackle more of the war concept of Star Wars, because when you go down to that Mario Sunshine planet, right, with palm trees and water and sand and all that
Sarlacc? No.
Sakaar? No, not Sakaar. What do I say? Planet Hulk. What is Sakaar? Sark. I don't remember. But
let me find it.
Yeah. But that planet, right? I do admire the fact that we get there were some great shots involving the high-speed chase battles up top, right above the planet, trying to get rid of that freaking shield deflector. Scarif. And then at the bottom, when you're down there, right, you get to see all these rebels in action, and you get to feel the scope of that freaking AT&T walker. You know, you tend to realize that once you go back and see these old movies from the 70s, from the 80s, right? Like, you get to see how big they are in comparison to the humans. But I feel like with Rogue One, that one scene made me feel the grandiosity of what it means to actually go up against one of these things, you know, like, and I'm glad that Ron Howard at least kept that part, you know.
It wasn't Ron Howard.
It wasn't Ron Howard?
Solo.
Sorry, that was Solo.
I think it was Gareth Edwards who directed it. I know. Well, I should also butt in that Rogue One and Solo, I think, were both like a Star Wars anthology movies that had a director, but then they changed directors, either fired or they just left. And
because Kathleen wasn't feeling it that day,
or I guess 2 days, because two movies. But
that's right. They got on her bad side just 2 days, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just tells you like the plan, the original plan. Well, excuse me, was to do a Star Wars movie every year.
Terrible.
After Solo, nope. I mean, I like the idea of having a show, but I feel like it's like Marvel, which we'll get into in a second. With the Star Wars shows, I feel like Andor, I'm not feeling it yet. Like Lando, I don't. We'll see if that's still going to go on, but I don't like. See, that's the thing. It's like I really wanted Republic of the New Rangers, but that's not going to happen because of because they fired Gina Carano. But
I wonder why.
Yeah. But I do think that it is something where I want to be surprised, but I feel like I want it done right, because I just found out today that Bad Batch Season 2 and Mandalorian Season 3 have been delayed for release dates.
Yep.
So I'm kind of fine with that, honestly, because we looked at Kenobi and that was rushed. And Kenobi, I feel like I heard a
thank you, Avatar hello. Poster.
That's right. Yeah, I heard hello there. Anyway, with General Kenobi or General Thick Boy Kenobi,
thank you.
I felt like we only needed a movie. Honestly, it just feels like a stretched out 6-hour movie that had a bunch of freaking deleted scenes that did not need to be in it.
Yeah, with a gospel singer as a freaking Inquisitor. Tell me where the Jedi is! And I'm just like, are you kidding me, Reva? You really like I'm not even blaming the actress here, but
Like
it's
Moses,
just
yeah, no, it's just the
Moses Ingram,
direction
like
of it.
yeah, it's just these Disney writers just don't know how to write for their selective IPs. They just don't get it, they don't understand it. And I'd be fine
Well,
with that, but
animated, yes, and Mandalorian.
well, yeah, but that's more the exception and not the norm. Hence, I can't speak for Andor because I haven't seen it yet, but I can well speak on She-Hulk because I've seen all 4 episodes, and
Yeah,
God, is it terrible? God, is it bad?
you want to go into it,
Yeah, let's go. That's a great.
or do you want to, or did you want to finish any final thoughts for Andor?
Andor. I'm kind of indifferent towards. Honestly, it's just I don't hate Cassian. I really don't, but I don't have any strong feelings for him. Like the same thing for the other characters, including Jack Spice, Jyn Erso, and Galen Erso, and Chronicles of Riddick, ridiculous Rick, what's his name?
Krennic. You've been watching too much Vin Diesel, bro.
Diesel time.
Emily.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Nah, you better hide that big ass forehead. Anyway,
it's just a joke, man. But yeah, let's head into She-Hulk, which we can actually critique and speak on.
Yes. Well, I gotta let you do, man, because holy crap, man, you have a lot of things to say about She-Hulk.
I
So
do.
please share.
Well, I'm not the biggest big. I'm not the biggest She-Hulk fan. I got to be honest with you because, well, I got introduced to her through the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 video game from 2011. That was my first exposure to her.
Yeah.
And from her battle quotes with certain characters, how she plays around with them, I liked her. Like she was really fun. She had this attitude about her. Like she wasn't afraid to play around with characters. She's known for breaking the fourth wall in the comics and in whatever media she's in.
So like Deadpool 2, or the kind of like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. And in the show, she does it more than a couple of times. But here's the thing, though. This Jennifer Walters is not the Jennifer Walters that I'm used to or that I've seen before. I can say that it's a unique take, and I'm using it very loosely because I can very much well compare Jennifer Walters to the Ghostbusters 2016 ladies, in which, well, there's this whole thing where Jennifer Walters is kind of obnoxious. She's loud, she's abrasive, she's needlessly rude, even to her own friends, like
immature.
Yeah. Even Elliot, how many episodes have you watched? You've watched all 4 of them. Yeah. So like you've seen Jennifer progress through these 4 episodes, and like even in the beginning where she's talking about Captain America's virginity for some reason, I'm just like, why is this necessary?
I think it's done wrong. I like the idea of like, I think it was a good idea for the writers to like, for the fans, like, hey, we're listening. I know you're thinking about this, but I feel like it was like, that's not the thing this is not how you introduce a character. And this is not like, well, I mean, if you want to show me that she's immature and thinking about, Captain America's sex life, that's America's ass. But it just, that, I don't know, like there's a better way of, it'd be funny if like, it was like the 5th episode or something like that, or I don't know how many episodes there did. 8. I think there's more. Whatever.
I think there's 8 of them.
8 gonna happen. Oh, geez. Okay, great. Moon Knight can get 6, but not she. Anyway, Moon Knight is the best MCU show. Anyway, with She-Hulk, I feel like it would have been better for like that joke specifically to be later. Like, for example, like, okay, so what is it like for you to be a super Bruce? What do you think? And then they go back and forth, and then they go back and I don't know, it'd been funny, like they talk about stuff like, who's this person or whatever. It's like, is he really a virgin? No, what do you, anyway, back to like it would have been fun. It was like a throwaway joke. Like that would have been funny. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like in my opinion, like, I don't know. I this show just proves that it's, I don't hate it, but I also like feel like it's the closest thing we have to like a Hulk entity, if that makes sense. Like we haven't had a Hulk movie since 2008, and I know that there's rights issues and like because finally Universal gave the rights back to Disney, not back to Disney. I sound like Disney once had Hulk, but Universal basically agreed like, okay, we won't let this happen anymore. We're not gonna make a movie, so now you have it. So now they're trying to come up with stuff, but now it's like, I'm sorry, just do a Hulk show or do a Hulk movie first.
Yeah.
Get him back to like, because this man has been through a lot, losing Natasha.
Oh,
Even though they didn't do a good job of explaining that relationship. But just, I think it would have been cool to see him like get back to the original Hulk, not Mr. Dr. Professor Hulk, Yeah, but
and that's the I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's the thing with like, I get that it's She-Hulk's series and and she's the main character and all that stuff, but they really disrespect the Hulk here. They really do, especially in the first episode, man. Like that, this is the main reason, like, and it's one of the main reasons why I just don't like Jennifer. I really don't. Like, she's very unpleasant to be around. Like, if I were to put myself in the shoes of her kiss-ass assistant who says that her speech was great, it wasn't really about any particular case. It's basically just shoving the theme right in front of your face. And it's just like, that's right. In this world, we gotta stick up. You gotta stick up for yourself. You have to find yourself. And I'm just like, way to take a wet ass sponge and slap me across the face with what you want to tell me for this series. And when she actually gets these powers, right? It's okay. But when she actually gets these powers, right? She gets them from Bruce Banner bleeding. It's just like, Jen, get away from me, and she ends up at a bar, and you have these 1980s fabulous women dressing her up as like as Mahogany's pimp girl or something like that. She's out in the street.
I'm sorry, who's Mahogany?
And you don't want to know, but you're coming back to this. Like she gets catcalled by a bunch of guys who were just too forward with her. Like the way they portray men in this series is completely comical. Like absolutely batshit caricatures of men.
Bruce.
Even Bruce.
And
yes.
And okay.
Yep. I gotta say that, because if it were Bruce Banner, right? If it were the actual Bruce Banner, I would say in that island with Jennifer, right? Teaching her the ways of how to control the Hulk, because she's got a ton of power behind her. She has the potential to literally waste a city. Like we've seen that with Age of Ultron, with all of what the Hulk has done, right? And the fact that Jennifer acts so cavalier and so smug about this power, like it doesn't really seem that way at all. I get that Jennifer is a very playful character, but Jennifer Walters in this series is not playful. She's not smart. She's not comical, and most of all, she's just not respectful to the history that came before her. Like let's take that scene where they're meditating, right? They're doing this they're doing this Silence of the Lamb thing or something like that. They breathe, you got to control your anger, you know what I mean? And she's like, oh, I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the freaking time when I'm catcalled in the street, when I have incompetent men telling me, literally my profession, but I can't speak up because I can be called mean or abrasive, or I can literally get murdered. So I'm great at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. And then she starts changing at will, and I'm just like, are you kidding me right now?
Well, you brought up a good point, because remember when like Hulk is like, okay, you have okay, I'm sorry, but it's gonna take years and time and patience for you to master this and finally get to be like me or something like this. And it's like, oh, in a day. Don't need that at all. I can control and be Jennifer all in one in the same day. I'm sorry, but this is kind of like the Ray approach, if you ask me. I mean, obviously She-Hulk is more quick to get her powers, but to me it's like, where's the development to get your powers? Where's the origin story? I'm not invested in you. Like if you already get your power, I mean, let's take Spawn for example. I'm a huge fan of Spawn, as you know, and
We'll be doing another episode of this in the near future. Yeah.
with Keith Richards. God damn it, with Keith David, not Keith Richards.
From the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I still can't get no satisfaction.
Oh yeah. Continue. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Oh, we got 10 more minutes until this thing runs out. I guess I don't know.
oh my god, before the bomb goes off. Okay, so but with Spawn though, Spawn is an OP dude. I mean, I'm not She-Hulk obviously is different than Spawn because Spawn has literally every single power you can think of. Every single any power you think of, he has. Even he has a development. Even he has too much power. He still doesn't know how to do like, okay, oh my god, I'm changing into like a werewolf. Okay, now I'm like teleporting back to like the 1500s. Now I could speak into like he still has time to like he's no idea what the hell he's doing. He has too much powers, if anything. But it takes time and patience. In the comic books, he's able to. I mean, obviously, there's a guy named the Violator, which obviously is. Anyway,
hashtag Violator 2024.
2024. Oh my yes, the Violator. That sounds like a really cheesy wrestler. Anyway, but with the Violator coming in, being as like a really toxic, trainer, it's Spawn later learned how to harness his power and later becomes God, literally, but it takes him a long time to get that. But then he pulls a can and goes, I'm bored, and just gives it to someone else, as that. So, but through that, we still see the development, even though he's dead, like one of the Ramon. What Ramon was that?
That was Joy Ramon. What was it like to know Sid Vicious? He's dead.
Yes. So he's dead, but he's still like, there's still weight to his character. There's still stakes involved, with all these other things. But with She-Hulk, though, I feel like, and Ray, I mean, obviously She-Hulk gets her powers quicker than Ray does, but I feel like, even Ray has somewhat of a development with her powers, like,
I can agree. Yeah.
Like to an extent there is some, but like not like the normal,
it's still rushed, yeah, but even like I'm gonna stand up for that sequel character right now because Ray had more development time to get familiar with her powers than Jennifer Walters does. Yeah. And even then, Ray isn't as smug and detached from reality as Jennifer is.
Yeah. Ray is humble.
Yeah, at least Ray feels like she came from a galaxy far, far away. Jennifer Walters seems like this freaking out of touch activist that lives right in front of my front door somewhere over here, that I don't even really want to deal with. I'm just like, oh man, she's making a video again. Here, let's get the tear gas going. Let's go.
Let's cry. No one's watched your TikTok. Anyway.
That's right. But, yeah. Jennifer, that's another thing. Bruce is acting way too passive, if you ask me. He is not making his case for the fact that he has gone through a lot of stuff. Go for it. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and that's the problem with the MCU, I think, is phase 4 is the worst phase, in my opinion.
By far. I agree.
The only memorable entries is Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Moon Knight. And forget, No Way Home. All right, obviously, we know all that kind of stuff, and obviously nostalgia plays a part. But even Moon Knight, I think, is something that it's its own thing. I mean, actually, no, I like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was good. It's not my favorite of the shows, but I liked it.
I can even make a case for Doctor Strange and the Dami Mommy of Multiverse of Madness. I'm sorry, one that's so freaking hot, man. But I can even make a case for that one because, like, even then, sure, it's not a Doctor Strange movie, but at least it's got some interesting ideas to work off of.
It's kind of boring, though.
Yeah, in a way, it is. Like, I, for the life of me, cannot remember what the main conflict of this movie was. And the fact that although like Wanda is a character that I really do like, ever since Age of Ultron, she has been amazing, right? And even in WandaVision, where the vision was lost at the end of the series, but like
She
even when
lost her vision.
that's right, she lost the vision, even when she tries to justify what she did in this movie, it doesn't work. Like, even Doctor Strange is like, you have every right to be angry. Your children don't exist. And then she says, so you can sacrifice millions and billions of lives, but I can't sacrifice one to be with my children. And I'm just like, that is not true. Absolutely not. You may have done it, but at the same time, the people actually came back because Hulk brought them back.
She's trying to make it like an Ozymandias kind of thing. Like, oh, well, you're like trying to kill millions to save billions. Like, spoilers for Watchmen viewers out there or people who have never watched Watchmen before. But
watch it.
But I gotta be honest, I think Wanda is the most overrated character in the MCU.
Really?
I don't get her. There's not enough there. I don't find her interesting. It's not Elizabeth Olsen's fault. I know I keep saying it's not the actor's fault.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like there's not enough that makes me want to pull me in and say, wow, I feel for you. I understand. Like, I think it's probably because I didn't see her development. Like, even with like freaking Black Widow, I kind of had a better understanding of her character, even as a lackluster movie Black Widow was. I still liked it, and Yelena is the best character in that movie by far. But anyway, bless
you.
Anyway, but to wrap it up, we got 3 minutes left.
Yep.
She-Hulk, I think, is a shining example of not to milk things, because we have not had a bongo drums. We haven't had.
Shit, I don't have them.
No, my
Go for it.
It's my birthday. Anyway,
I thought. Oh yeah.
I think I said a bad word in Spanish. Anyway,
How would you know?
because you told me. Anyway, let's get back on track. I think phase 4, I don't know when it's gonna end, probably soon, but I feel like it's just an example of like turn down for what? Like why are you working with Megan Thee Stallion? It makes no.
Dude, oh my God! It's not like you're not allowed to do that. Like, feel free
it's not like, in the Marvel when kids are watching.
Let me finish my sentence. It's not like you're not allowed to do that. Like, feel free to do it, but it doesn't disguise the fact that you're kissing a celebrity's ass like a whole bunch of talk shows do nowadays. And it's not edgy at all. Like, it's so freaking lame. Like, why not make fun of Megan Thee Stallion for a change? Like the Simpsons used to do back in not with Megan Thee Stallion, but a whole bunch of others. She might have been a tiny little twerk baby back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, She-Hulk just feels more like a parody of what it wants to be rather than what it needs to be.
That's right.
And Deadpool is already a great reminder that people who can break the fourth wall can actually work as characters in their own stories. It's just the writing, man. And it really grinds my gears that one of the writers from Rick and Morty season 3 is one of the main writers in this one, because she is terrible. Like, I'm just like, oh my Lord, it's so bad. With that being said, like, in conclusion, She-Hulk has a lot of potential, because Jennifer Walters, in the real Jennifer Walters, she is fantastic. As a character, she is amazing. Like, and it crosses my mind that Jennifer would absolutely be the type of character to twerk, like to dance and to be happy and be freaking a free bird and all that stuff. Absolutely. You do you, boo-boo. Absolutely. Preferably on me. But here's
my God.
Preferably, Jennifer, I just don't dig. The actress is beautiful. Actress is very beautiful. She does the best job she can, but I don't know. The writers just don't know how to write She-Hulk. They really don't.
Yeah. Well, with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh yeah, me too. That her too.
With Jennifer Walters, I am not loving her at all. I still watch it, but like at my own pace, because like we said, phase 4, I think is a transition phase into the next thing, but I feel like most of it is just forgettable.
Yeah, it really is.
Like the only things I liked was Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We're doing Pirates of the Caribbean now. Anyway, so yeah, I just feel like Andor and She-Hulk. I mean, we'll see with Andor. Obviously, we haven't seen it. It could be like the best ever Star Wars property. Well, maybe not the Star Wars property, but or you have no idea what it could be. But I don't know. It has a 3-episode premiere too.
Oh yeah. I mean, if they like it with a 3-episode premiere, like Kenobi had a 2-episode premiere, right? So with Cassian, given that the character, there's not much to the character, like if this just ended up being a 3-episode series, I would be okay with it. Hell, I would even watch it. It's just Cassian is just not enough of an interesting character to actually base a whole series on. You know what I mean?
Maybe to be devil's advocate, maybe that's why. Excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
Maybe to be devil's advocate, like maybe that's the point of the show is to be like, oh, like let's see the rebellion, because we've seen Rebels, but they were earlier. There was always a rebel alliance by the time it was formed. So now it's like we get to see the foundation. We get to see like the blueprints of the rebellion. We have seen books over the years and stuff like that, but like for us, the closest thing we got was Force Unleashed, but that's not canon.
Galen Merrick, my boy.
Yeah, and that was an interesting concept too. Like that's something that Darth Vader started. He really started the rebellion. If you really think about it, he was the one that planted that seed of hope. But he obviously did it not to be like, oh, let's say I hate the Emperor, I hate this channel, but like, it's he did it just to use Starkiller to gather up the enemies and say, I lied, like the very beginning, to like a plan or whatever.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to kind of. I mean, if they did that, I think that'd be pretty cool as like a homage to or homage. But another pronunciation we
it's
have.
An
here.
Homage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, tomato, but I think maybe it'd be kind of cool if they did that for Andor. Maybe like a way for Darth Vader to be like something like that. Obviously not Starkiller, because as much as I would love to have Starkiller, I think he's too OP in my opinion.
Yeah, this man's powerful enough to move Star Destroyers, man. I don't think anybody can compete with that.
Yeah. Even Palpy can't even do that.
Oh.
Palpy, not
Palpy.
It'll shock you. But
up on my ears, baby.
Dello Finnegans. Anyway, speaking of emergency powers, let's close this out.
I agree. Let's do it, man. Yeah.
So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me. I already said them at the beginning of the ending. Yeah, I already did. So, Cassian Andor, not excited. Jennifer Walters, actively not excited. Don't get me wrong, and before anyone comes at me, I'm more than fine with Jennifer Walters twerking, particularly when it's on me. But the way it's contexted here right now with kissing celebrity ass and not being herself, I absolutely don't agree with it.
I don't. Yeah. Ditto. Not her twerking. Anyway.
Thank you. At least I have somebody on my side.
Jennifer. Anyway, but okay, so for She-Hulk, I agree. And for Andor, I agree too. So I still think we should say goodnight and say thank you to everyone watching our chaotic episode as always. So be sure. I'm being tickled. I'm sorry. Be sure to follow us, like us, and not get tickled by us. And stop it. Get some help. Anyway, so why don't you finish this up? Because I clearly can't finish my sentence.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching. More episodes coming your way. Trying to keep it more consistent with Basic Nerd Experience, because it's good to see you guys. It's good to hear from you guys as well with the live streams as well. So any way you spin it, we'll be back with more episodes because we got the fire rolling, my boy. That's what we do.
That's right. We got to keep it consistent. We got to do at least one week, and I'm finishing up an episode that we'll have out soon, which is top 3 Pixar villains.
That's right.
That'll be the next episode for next week. So take care, y'all.
Take care, y'all. Yeah. The thick will be with you always, bro. Remember that.
Yo, incoming!
Your mama needs.
Just take the goddamn
Finger licking bitches.
I'm Spanish.
You better not say the one.
The cold cut combo.
to the Johnny boy.
I miss it. Yeah, that's